Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to QCAFE. Sorry we didn't do our regular live streaming or showing of our episodes on Wednesday nights at 8. Just for this July, we will be having a new time slot. But yeah, still, don't worry, we will still have our regular weekly tambayan here at Uzencor. And having said that, it's quite interesting because our guest for this evening is actually someone that I really feel you will learn a lot from. So allow me to introduce our speaker. Our speaker for tonight is a serial entrepreneur for more than 2 decades. He is the founder of Bounce Back PH and the Bounce Back Network, a business advocacy group of over 1 million members and followers. He is the author of the best-selling book, The Practical Entrepreneur, and ebook Entrepreneur in Crisis. He was also a former director of the business innovation at the Ateneo de Manila University, having over 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur with currently over 15 business ventures under his wing, including the recently $1 million social e-commerce company Reselly. His ventures revolve around digital tech startups, food and beverage, e-commerce, business development, product development, digital marketing, e-learning, taking on management and leadership roles. On top of that, he is a loving father, husband, a mentor, and a musician by heart. To talk about creating a business plan, please welcome to our virtual stage Mr. Bounce Back PH on Q Cafe, Mr. Jason Dela Rosa. Hi, Sir Jason!
Hi, sorry. Hello, how are you doing, Kate?
Grabe, 15 years. Ang dami, tapos ang dami-dami ng businesses. Oh my gosh. It's really quite exciting, no, to have this kind of opportunity to give jobs as well.
Yeah, Actually, a lot of my ventures talaga ironically nag-flourish during the pandemic. No? So it's really about, it's business is not really about, when you meet certain crises or problems, you quit. No, it's really about, adapting to changes in the environment or in the market. No? So
It's true. And we're so excited because actually, no, for tonight's episode, you will be talking to us about how to actually plan a business. And this is quite an interesting thing because I think during the pandemic, no, isa to sa mga maraming nangyari. People, dahil lockdown tayo sa ating mga bahay, nagsiisipan tayo, how can we earn
yeah,
through businesses, diba?
yes,
Right. So
correct.
take it away, Sir Jason.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen first. Is that okay? How does my screen look? Is it okay? All
Yes, we
right.
can see it.
All
All of your
right.
business.
All right. So thank you, Mosen, for inviting me to this talk, and I'm very happy to be here. And today I will be talking about developing your business plan or your business model. And before that, I'd like to introduce myself further. As Kate said, I've been an entrepreneur investor for 22 plus years already. Actually, ever since I graduated from university, or even before, I already started doing business. I never submitted a resume in my life because I told myself, okay, if I don't want to be tempted, with a job offer, then I shouldn't submit a resume. So I didn't, and here I am now. No, I've never had a boss in my life. So I've been in actually from 15 ventures, according to Kate. No, but right now I counted about nearly 30 already. During this pandemic, we've been investing a lot. We've been venturing into many ventures, and published my book. And as she said, I am the founder of Bounce Back Philippines, where we help SMEs recover from the crisis, and help them plan what to do in the next few years on how to bounce back or recover. These are some of the companies that we've invested in and we're doing. So as you can see, business planning is in my blood, and from e-commerce to e-health to food and beverage, e-learning, esports to community building to metaverse. I love doing innovation. I love creating business out of nothing, especially in the tech and the digital space, because that's what is going to be the future. No, everybody during the pandemic saw that being in the digital space is very important for your business to succeed these days. So that's why a lot of my businesses grew during the pandemic. So if you go to jasondelarosa.com, that's where you can see my blogs and what I do, my companies, and of course you can get a copy of my book, The Practical Entrepreneur. Now this is where I talk about my life story. So as an entrepreneur and all the practical lessons for entrepreneurs and SMEs. All right. So now that I've introduced myself, I'd like to start with developing your business plan. Okay, so you might be planning to open a business, or you might be creating a business idea so that you can present it to investors. So first thing I want to talk about is what is the purpose? What is the purpose of your business plan? Why are you creating a business plan? So there are probably two reasons why you're developing your business plan. It's for internal use, so that you know that you will get to know if your business will succeed or not. No, you can estimate. Yeah, most likely my business will succeed, or I need to do this so that my business will succeed. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you will create a business plan because you need to show it to somebody. You need to raise money, no, because business requires capital, and of course, you have to create a business plan that is that somebody else can understand, and then so that you can raise money. So, what is your purpose? And you have to know that, no, so that when you create your business plan, you know who your audience is. Could be your partner, no, so that you both understand, no, the business model, the business plan, or it could be investors or friends or families or even venture capitalists. Once you understand this, then you can now craft your business plan in a way that it is best fit for your audience. Sometimes the business plan can be just for yourself because you wanted to plan your business to make sure that you go ahead with it in a proper way, in an organized way. All right. So number one is, what is the purpose of your business plan, and know it well. In the duration of this talk, I will basically be talking about these two, and then also a big part of it is how do you present it when you're raising money or raising capital, and developing your business plan. Okay. So what makes a good plan? No? So number one, you have to be concise and you have to be clear. I remember before, in the early 2000, business plans were so thick. They're like novels, and the thicker it is, the more impressive it is, and the more investors see, oh, you did your homework, you did your research. But right now, even me as an investor, I don't really look at thick business plan. Actually, the thicker it is, the longer it is, the less interesting it becomes for me. So you have to be concise and very clear about what you want to say about your business, because investors right now, they receive a lot of business plans, and they have to make quick decisions about your business. Number two has to be realistic, no? Because investors can see through you. No? Investors will be able to know if you are, if you're bluffing, if you actually padded your numbers. No? So you have to show that somehow you're realistic and you're very practical with your numbers. Or it's not expected naman of you that you will really grow your business very fast in the beginning. So you just have to be conservative, at the same time a little ambitious, so that it becomes interesting for your partners or for your investors. Okay. Number three, you have to be very specific about your business. The biggest mistake that you can do, no, is kalat-kalat ka, dami mong gustong gawin. No? You have a lot of things that you want to do. The best thing you can do is focus. No? Focus on the business that you really want to do. No? Because it will be more clear for the investor. It will be much digestible, and they will not wonder if you just made things up, no, to create a impressive business plan. Now, be specific. No? Number four, which is related to being realistic, it has to be achievable. So people will look at your credentials, the team, what have you done in the past, and will really see, if you can really achieve the business model or business plan that you did. So make sure that it is achievable. Even if it's very ambitious, it has to be in phases wherein you can achieve certain milestones. Okay. And number five, investors love a good story, and you have to develop the story, which is on my next slides, which is yung step one of the business plan. You have to start the story with a problem. Diba? Sa mga fairy tales, usually there is a problem that the hero needs to solve or something like that. So a business is like that. It's a story that begins with the problem, which leads me to my next slide, which is the step one of your business plan. So this is the start of the development already of your business plan. You have to start with a problem. Just like any good story, a hero encounters a problem. You have to describe this problem or the pain point. This crisis, we encountered so many problems, so many things that made us quit our businesses, or money or financial issues. Entrepreneurs like us, we see problems as opportunities. So during the crisis, what I saw all of the problems that we encountered, actually I saw them all as opportunities. No, the opportunity to solve them and create revenue out of them. That's why riders, there were so many riders because food delivery became, a standard now during the crisis. So it solved a certain problem of people not being able to go off their house and then dine outside. Therefore, to solve that problem, the number of riders increase so that food can be delivered to homes. So that solves a certain problem, and that brings revenue to logistics companies, for example. All right. So step one is really defining your problem or the pain point. How do you plan to solve that problem? No. So this is where now you introduce your company and your product, and what is your unique selling proposition. What makes your product or your company the best solution for the problem that you stated in your business plan? Okay. And you know, when you introduce your product, you have to demonstrate how it will solve that particular problem. No? And how do I price my product so that it can help that problem? I mean, it can solve that problem easily, because you may have a great product that solves a certain problem, but uh, it cannot penetrate the market because of your pricing, for example, right? So you have to think about many things in order to solve that problem. And the investor or your partners or whoever you're discussing your business plan with will will ask you, they will personally know, no, that if it solves the problem, because every product is an experience of a person, and all investors, they experience this problem, and they will be able to tell now if this product can really solve their problem. So the best story to tell is if the audience can relate to that product solving their own problems. Okay, so this is step one. So when you present this business plan to somebody, make sure that it solves their problem even at their level, and they will tell themselves, yeah, oh, it's right. No, this thing is really the best way to solve the problem, and not only solve a problem, but this is how I define innovation now. How do you solve the problem better? No? Okay, so like the other day, I was wearing one of those devices that you put on your neck, and it blows cool air on your face. No, so if the problem is hot weather, no, the weather is hot. The solution to that is an electric fan. But how do I solve it better? So they made a device that you can wear around your neck, and it blows cool air to your face. So that solves a problem better than than a solution that is already solving the problem. Okay, so define the problem and define the product or the solution that solves your problem better with a unique selling proposition. Okay, so that's step one. No? That this could be your slide number one. Okay, next is your market and your traction. So as an investor or somebody who's reviewing your business plan, he wants to know if the market size is, it's appetizing. No, it's what they call appetizing. It means that my market or the people who will buy my product is not just one community, for example, or one type of segment. It has to reach out to several people, so that I can sell this to as many people as I can. I don't really believe in market studies because uh, I know that you'll never know until you test it out. Okay, so I'm more of a fan of market validation. Now, market validation means uh, I have tested this product with a few people, and this was the result of this test. No? So, for example, I sold my product to 10 people, and two of them said, "Oh, I'd like to buy this again. I love this product." And then these two people, I will be able to, let's say, profile them and say, okay, my market is female and this age, and I'll expand my market based on that profile. So if I'm able to tell this story in my business plan that I have tested it, I've validated the market, no, and I've created a traction. No, it means traction means I've sold 1,000 pieces of this online in Shopee, Lazada, and 50% have already reordered it. No, that is a better business plan, market validation, no, rather than guesswork, or I estimate if people, how many people will buy my product. Okay, so the best way is to do market validation first before you do your business plan. No, kasi the way we understand customer now, iba na, no? So there has been a great customer shift, especially since the pandemic. Changes in customer behavior, changes in customer likes and dislikes. You have to adapt to that. And the best way to do it is really go to the market, sell it to them, and see their feedback. Therefore, you can now plan your market better. No? So you will really know who is my market really, no, and how do I get a long-term market share of this market. Okay, and number three is, okay, since I know my market now, okay, I know the people who will buy my product. What is my edge over other people selling almost the same thing? No, if my product is not that unique, no, what is the unique or unfair advantage, no, of my product? Who are the competitors that are doing the same thing or something similar that can eat up or beat me in the market? Very important. So I have to know ano ba yung unfair advantage ko. No? What is my weakness against this competitor? And if I know this unfair advantage, then I will know that this is what I need to maximize. Kung ano yung advantage ko, I will now put this forward and say I am better at this, so that my market, will forget my competitors, because this is my unfair advantage. This is something that's unique about me, no? And I have to know my weakness as well, because I have to find ways, no, to beat my competitors. So I have to know what my weakness is, and I have to improve on it or make things better for as opposed to my competitors. Okay, so your number three, or your slide number three, could be edge. No, could be your slide number three could be, who are your competitors and what are your advantages over this competitor, or what are your weaknesses over this competitor, and who and what will I do, no, to make sure that this weakness will not hinder my sales or my capturing of the market share from my competitors. Okay, so from here, no, once I find out who my competitors are, I will move on to marketing, which is one of the most important thing, because you need a strategy. How do you plan to make your market aware of your products? What is your go-to market strategy? How do you, since you now know the market profile, you know your competitors, what's your plan now to go out into the market, the brand strategy, so that your customers will get to know that you exist? No? How do you plan for them to be aware through social media, through digital marketing? So you have to lay it all out in your business plan. No? So how do you plan to reach your sales goals? No? So this is where you will you'll discuss, or you will plan how many people or how many percent of the market you will capture. What is your strategy? How do you reach out to them? Whether it's a Twitter, Discord, or Facebook, and how do you plan to reach your sales goals? Do you do ads? Do you do word of mouth? Do you create events? No, so this is a sales and marketing strategy that you have to outline in your presentation or in your business plan, because this is very important to know if how much money will it cost me to sell this product, and how do I return this product? How do I return the money through sales? And Very importantly is what's my scale strategy? How do I expand or scale up my business now using marketing, which means to get to as many people as possible, to sell to as many people as possible, but keeping my cost low. That's very important in a business plan. No, the difference between growing your business and scaling your business is growing your business, you grow your revenue, yet you grow your costs as well. But in scaling, you grow your revenue, but your costs remain the same, or your costs are even lower. Now, that's what investors are looking for. How do you scale up? No, increase your business without increasing your cost that much. All right. So very important in your business plan, and you have to form the team. No, introduce the strength of your team. Make sure that your weaknesses and your strengths complement each other. No, it's better that you have a discussion on who does what in the organization. No, there's people who's good in execution. There's good people who's good in innovation, in administration, in HR. Try to divide the roles and let them focus on their roles. No, and if you're presenting to an investor, make sure you highlight those strengths so that they will really have confidence in your business plan, because the business plan is only as good as the people running it or the people behind it. Right? This is step number 5. And finally, of course, financials would be the most important. No, usually you need a projection of 3 to 5 years. Okay, in my opinion, business models or business plans are just estimates. No, these are just guesswork. No, you really can't tell. Like for example, I had so many business plans, or people had so many business plans before the pandemic with a 3 to 5 year projection. Very good, very high, but who knew that the pandemic would come? So their projections suddenly, became irrelevant, no? Because nobody knew that the pandemic will come. No? So it's only an estimate, but it will give you a basic idea. If things are equal, things don't go wrong, then this would be my estimate for the next 3 to 5 years. So you have to put there the capital cost, the money you need to put up equipments, or to create to have raw materials. So how much will it cost initially? Then operating cost is your salaries, your electricity bills, water bills, anything that is running on a monthly basis. How much gross revenues do you intend to bring in? How many customers, and what is the value per customer? So if one customer is equals 100 pesos, then 100 customers is 100 times 100 pesos. Okay. Your net revenues will be your gross revenues minus your operating cost. Okay. So very important to show your net revenues. One important thing I've learned is you have to focus on cash flow. A lot of business plans don't include cash flows. No, kasi cash flows is the lifeblood, no, of your company. So if you run out of cash, you won't be able to run your company properly. No, so aside from your projections in sales, you have to think about your cash flow. Now, how much money are you burning every month? Now, to really make your business run, how much money are you spending, every month, and how much do you need to cover that expenses? Okay, very important. This cash flow will be trickled down to sales teams, and sales teams will say, okay, this is our target, and this is how much we need to cover our overhead or our operating costs. And return on investment is how many years before I recover my capital cost. The money that I initially put in, how many years before, or how many months will this money come back? So that will now depend on your net revenues and cash flow every month. Okay, and it should equal to your capital cost. So your net revenue should equal your capital cost. So the month that you reach your capital cost is your ROI, or your return on investment. And if you're presenting to investors, very important, you should tell them what you need, how much money you need, and how much funds, what the funds will be used for. Okay, so creating a business plan, has only about 6 steps, no, 6 things that you have to really focus on. No? So to give you a summary, no, so make sure number one, describe the problem and how does your product, what's the uniqueness of your product that will solve the problem? What's your market size? Who are you really selling to? And how do you adapt to the customer shift? Okay. Number three, what is your edge over competitors? Now, what is your unfair advantage over them? What is your marketing strategy? How do you bring that product to your customers or to your market? And how do you reach your sales goals? How do you scale your business? Who is involved in running the business? And make sure that their strengths and their weaknesses complement each other. And make sure your financials are very clear, no, so that you have a target every month, and so that you can show your investors that you are worth investing in, and so that you can move your company forward with the right amount of capital. Okay, so that is the basic of that. Those are the basics of developing your business plan. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, on my page, or go to my website, jasondelarosa.com. And thank you very much for inviting me to this talk.
All right, grabe, Sir Jason. I was really parang na-excite ako. Kasi actually, while you were talking about your strategies, while you were talking about the steps, I had in mind na how I'm going to do it, to apply it to my existing business. Because naman, di ba? Like, most people talaga, they start their businesses from their passion, from the things that they're really passionate about. Pero oo nga naman, no? We also can look at that angle na how about we solve a problem through the business that we're creating. So this is actually an interesting perspective na people can, sit down and try to relate to their current businesses. Kasi, di ba, meron na rin naman silang existing. Sir, I have a question though. With the multiple businesses that you said you were part of, what is that exact thing or what are the methods that you use to promote your businesses that you feel like ito talagang technique na to, nag-work talaga siya for me para maging yung business ko, like ma-promote ko siya ng maayos?
Okay, so number one, you have to take advantage of the digital channels. No? Kasi everyone's on social media, everyone's on the different digital tools, no, that they use every day. So you have to learn how to take advantage of that. And most of my businesses now are being promoted through those channels. So online. No? Second is you have to make your market sell for you. No? So you have to leverage on existing customers because their testimonials, because social media, news travels so fast, whether bad news or good news, it travels so fast. That's why we have cancel culture, we have bashing, that's the negative side of it. But if you give customer service, then I believe kasi the market grows on its own. Your business grows on its own now because of how fast news travels on social media. If you have food business and somebody just takes a photo of it or takes a video of it and eats it and posts it, that already gives you free marketing or free promotions. No?
Yeah.
So you make sure that you reward those people. No? So come up with strategies wherein you reward loyal customers, you provide compensation for those who refer your business, no, and that helps you scale fast because the power of word of mouth over social media is one of the fastest way to promote your product.
Sir Jason, do you think it is a smart idea to hire influencers or vloggers for your businesses?
Depends. No? So the worst you can do is hire an influencer that does not have a good fit to your product. No? Yeah, because if the influencers, for example, the influencers market is, for example, people earning below, let's say, 20,000 pesos or 30,000 pesos, then you try to ask him to sell a Louis Vuitton bag, or you try to ask him to sell, a Ferrari,
Yeah, it's
no?
not a fair.
So there is a mismatch there, no? So make sure that your influencer, you study the followers or yung people that person is influencing. You study them carefully because it's also a market validation. So don't go all out. You can tell the influencer, can we test this first? We want to test your follower,
Market. Yeah, yeah.
validate it. That's when you go all out, when you see a little traction from
Yeah,
that.
I see. So basically our talk for this evening no is all about really how to plan your business, how to start. Ayan. Now I want to ask naman po Sir Jason, because most of our business owners na nag-emerge nowadays are what we call one man team. Yung tipong dahil nga passionate ka doon sa business mo, you start it on your own, ganyan. Now my question is, how do we know when we need to hire people for our businesses? Paano, what are the telltale signs ba, or how can we integrate into the planning stage yung pag-hire ng mga tao? And is there like a way on how to choose what type of people we need for our businesses?
Okay, so first of all, before you hire, no, make sure you have the financial capacity to hire. No, because the worst you can do also is to you hire people, but you don't have the capital to pay them every month. So they will also leave you, if you don't have the money. So yeah, so focus on hiring if you need to if you need to delegate or you need to leverage yourself. No, there are tasks kasi na you don't know how to do it. No, you need expertise of other people. No, so make sure that when you hire somebody, they have to be aligned with your vision, the vision of your company. No, second is that person should be well trained about your business, and third is you have to make sure that that person works well with your other team members. So again, when I mentioned team kanina, you have to the weaknesses of one and the strength of one should complement each other and support each other. So make sure your team or the people you hire is really what's missing in your group or your team, so that you can
Yeah.
you can support the business that way.
Yeah, that's actually a good no, parang pointer to think about. Kasi most people parang sometimes you just jump na hindi natin sure, di ba? So lalo na when it comes to hiring people nga who will be joining us in the business, this is actually a crucial choice to make. Ayan. So we have a question here that asks, starting a business, how much money do I really need to start?
Okay, so that question is, you can start with 500 pesos or you can start with 10 million pesos. Right? It really depends on the business you're doing. No?
Yes.
So even if you just be a freelancer, you have costs as well. No? So you have your computer, your internet line, you have your subscriptions to different software. So even if you just use your own effort, you can't say it's zero po, and you cannot say it's no capital. No?
Yeah.
There's still capital involved. No?
Mm-mm.
So the money that you put in will, of course, depend on the type of program or business plan. That's why business plan is very important because it tells you how much money you need to
Mm-mm.
get to the point wherein you can create sales and then generate revenue. No, so that answer to the question is depends on your business plan.
Yeah.
Depends on your business plan.
All right. Is it good to start a business on your own, or is it better to choose a business with partners?
Okay, so again, that is entirely up to you. No, so if you feel that you work better on your own and you have a lot of resources that you can just pay for the expertise, no, of somebody to work with you, then that's perfectly fine. The advantage of having partners, no, is you can actually do more no, and you don't have to pay yet, no, the services. No, you
Yes.
both take the risk,
Uh-uh.
and long term wise, you have each other's back,
Mhm.
and you are able to grow the company, and both of you can benefit from the growth of the company. No? So the answer to that is it depends, no, on you, kasi some people I know work better alone, no, and they just hire the consultants and the team. As for me, I prefer having partners because of expertise that I don't have. Uh, at least they can cover for what I don't know. And second of all, if you are working on something that has intellectual property or something confidential, it's better to have a partner so that they have a stake in the company,
All
so
right.
that you can protect also your intellectual property.
Mm-mm. Those are good insights, especially when it comes to deciding if you're gonna do it all on your own or if you're gonna have people come in, di ba? Ayan. So we just wanna ask as well, right now with what's happening in the world, no? Do you have any insights or on what are the best businesses to start?
Mhm.
Meron ka bang tip na parang, uy, this is hot in the market right now. This is something na maybe you could considering opening up.
Okay. Well, right now we live in an unexpected world. No, it's inflation, unstable economy.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to suggest. But if you're gonna open a business, I'd suggest number one is it has to uh, have a digital strategy behind it. No,
Ooh.
because just you never know that a lockdown happens again, or because the customers shift, more people are now online, more people are working from their homes, no? Which means they want things delivered to them, no? They want things na very convenient at home, no? So those are the things that you need to consider. Secondly, people are more concerned about their health nowadays,
Yeah.
no? So businesses that is in relation to preventive medicine, like supplements or services,
Mhm.
such as for mental health, kasi ang dami ngayon na going into depression or getting
Yes.
mental health. So things that solve problems that came out of the pandemic,
Mhm.
I think are good,
Business opportunity.
businesses to go into.
All right. Okay, grabe, no? I know it's just a 1 hour talk, pero I really believe na parang everybody has been able to get that nuggets of information of na they will be able to take home and really, try out for this for their business plans. Ayan. So, lastly, Sir Jason, any additional message to those who are currently employed and is being scared to start their own businesses?
Okay. Well, you are actually scared because you feel secured with your salary,
Yes.
no? So you are so entrepreneurship is a different animal, no? It's parang wala kang secured something monthly. And my suggestion to them is you have to gain knowledge, or you have to gain information,
Mhm.
because knowledge kills fear. That's what I always say. If you have knowledge about something, it kills the fear, no? And get talk to some people or friends who are in entrepreneurship, who's doing their business, so you know the negatives and the positives, no? But my suggestion is, if you're going to start a business, do not quit your job right away, no? So just stay in your job and then try to slowly get into it, no?
Transition.
To
Yeah.
ano muna, simple business, sideline, get the feel of it until you are able to get a sizable monthly income that can replace or surpass what income you are getting
Mm-mm.
from your employment,
Mm.
so that you're secured. Kasi entrepreneurship, to be honest, it requires endurance. There are
Yeah.
people nga na they feel na they want time freedom, but when they got into entrepreneurship, it became 24/7 job rather than a 9 to 5 job, no? So
Yeah.
ano siya, there's give and take, but the rewards are high, being an entrepreneur, kasi you have no limit in terms of growth, or no limit in terms of revenue, no, or growth. But again, there's risk involved, di ba? So
That's the common
do
nga.
research.
Yeah. That's the common misconception nga eh. They say na when you're into business, hawak mo oras mo. They don't know that it's a double-edged sword talaga. Kasi
Yes.
sometimes you don't have boundaries. Like I remember, kasi growing up po talaga, my family has always been into businesses. Talagang hindi nag-employ and all that. So, growing up, I would see my mom who would like, wake up at 3 a.m. kasi may naalala siyang kailangan niyang gawin sa office. Those
Yeah.
boundaries. Oh
So
my gosh.
so that's a problem with expectations, no. So what's advertised and what's the expectation of being an entrepreneur. Of
Yeah.
course, of course, ang ano naman it can go both ways. You can lose your everything, but you can gain a lot, no? And
Yes.
it's only through entrepreneurship that you can gain a lot, no? Kasi sky is the limit when it comes to income and comes to
Totoo.
growth, no? So give and take lang, but make sure na you be practical about it. Don't risk everything, no?
Yes.
Always be safe, no? And always have a mentor, or somebody who's been there, no,
Mm,
who's experienced it now. You have to do your own research.
yeah. It really helps talaga if you have someone from the same industry who would,
Yes.
in a way, hand-holding you. But yeah,
Yes.
grabe, thank you for this exchange, Sir Jason. It's really been quite an interesting evening for us, and I really hope that our viewers here at Q Cafe also find it interesting. And I really hope that you go back to your business plans. You check it out because it doesn't mean na parang matagal na kayo sa negosyo nyo, wala pala kayong business plan. It doesn't mean na you don't, na you can't go back to it. It doesn't mean that you can't revisit everything. So it's really okay. You guys, with all the things that you learned tonight, I really hope that you take time to sit down, evaluate your businesses. Because it's really something that I feel that would help you. Kaya na nga nang sinasabi ni Sir Jason, research is key, especially nowadays. Now we have all these new things coming in. And yeah, so try to build on that. And maraming salamat for joining us. We'll see you again next week here at Moose and Core. Same time, same place at Q Cafe. Maraming salamat po. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great week ahead.